Hey Joyriders, welcome back to the channel.
Hey guys.
I'm here with Lee from Lee Likes Bikes
Hello
again.
to you.
Yes.
We're here, outdoors again.
We're gonna repair a video that I did when I first started making videos. Now I did a video on wall rides. I chose a really big wall. I had no idea what people were looking for or what people needed, and you don't know what the community wants, and so you're just shooting in the dark. Pretty much every comment was like, nice dude, what about a smaller wall?
Yeah, that thing was ridiculous, because I didn't hit that for like 5 years myself, and you had to like coach me into it.
Starting with a small wall is perfect. What I said in the last video is, hey, the mechanics are exactly the same, but who wants to take mechanics off of a 15-foot wall and try to apply them to this when we can just show you?
Yeah, totally.
So that's what today's about. So why would you even want to do a wall ride? Well, they feel really neat because how often do we get to actually turn ourselves sideways and then stick to something?
Yeah.
If you're Spider-Man, all the time.
All the time.
But for most of us, it's very rare.
There's something cool about riding something that doesn't seem like it should be rideable.
Yeah.
And so it's like, wait, I'm like sticking to vertical wood? Like that's crazy. And there's something in us that's like likes that.
Everybody always wants to know.
What about a hardtail?
Apparently hardtails can't do anything.
No.
In a lot of people's opinion.
Right.
In fact, they could do everything. For today, I'm just gonna ride the hardtail all day, and Lee's gonna be on a full suspension.
Yep.
I'm gonna try to run across it.
Dude, also tough.
Yeah, let's just see.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing my ankles. Oh! Parkour!
If anyone's out there and they are actual parkour enthusiasts,
We apologize.
we apologize, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh! God bless you, man. That was cool.
What does it prove?
It
Proves you stick if you go fast enough.
Yeah, the physics are on your side.
The physics are on your side.
In the case of a wall ride, the angle and the shape of the wall dictates the speed we need to flow up and across the obstacle. We're like water spinning in a vessel, moving up the wall at steeper and steeper angles as the velocity of our flow increases.
You have wall rides that have radii, like this guy, it's curved. And then you have wall rides that are flat. I believe that it's easier to learn on a curved wall ride because the curve is gonna hold you. And you'll stick to this wall ride and then fire out the other side perfectly. It's very much like riding a berm. With a flat wall ride, you don't have that benefit. So what you need to do in order to stick to it is you need to elongate your heavy cycle. So you can learn to make that pretty long. You'll see long enough to stick to a big wall.
Some people like a wall ride that goes to the right. Some people like a wall ride that goes to the left. I ride right foot back. I should like a wall ride that goes this way, but I prefer a wall ride that goes the other way. You'll just have to decide for yourself which one feels more natural. I've only seen people fall on wall rides for two reasons. The first is they don't initiate the angle. So as you hit this thing, you gotta be like this. You don't necessarily have to be quite at 90, but you gotta be pretty close. The most common mistake is people come in, they're perpendicular for a moment, and then by about here, they're starting to lift their head and they get straight up. Well, you can't hold on anymore. And they come down and they get splinters and it's yucky, right?
I did that in Whistler in a train of important professionals. And there's just a huge 270 wall ride and I didn't commit. And I did what you described. I slid down it, wound up in a heap in the ground while all these guys are like shredding above me. So not leaning enough is number one. I fully agree.
Number one. The other is people ride off the top. The front wheel just comes off of here. Those are terrible. This is just simple and logical. But look for the tire marks. Where are people riding the thing? Because it's been ridden by a lot of shredders before you. I can see a pretty clear line that comes through here. The other really common mistake is target fixation. You might go off the top, you might not lean enough, but nothing good happens. You want to keep soft vision.
We all have target fixation. We're human beings, right? If you come up to this thing and you cannot get out of that locked vision, that's your lizard telling you, dude, this is not time.
No go, bro.
You're not ready. I consider turning to be a primary skill for mountain biking. We'll call it a single vector skill. Jumping is another single vector skill. Something like this takes both of those skills and overlaps them, which is what makes it so fun, because it's kind of novel, right? But here's a fact. If you're not good at turning and you're not good at jumping individually, you're not going to be good at doing them together. All summer we teach classes out here. It's like my job. A lot of people want to do this thing. It's kind of terrifying to look at. Mechanically, this is just the same as we always do, but mentally it's different. Here are two ways to look at this that I think might be helpful. One is, it's basically a perfect berm. It happens to be made of wood. If this was all dirt all the way up, nobody would give it a second thought. You would just rail it. It's very, very, very common with wall rides that this right here, there's usually a disruptive edge. Check this out. One of the things we do is we treat it like a beautiful berm, and we enter out here and come on like this. And then the angles are a lot shallower this way, so you don't get that when you hit. This radius is basically a completely flawless, medium-sized dirt jump. So then like you get on it as if it's a berm. The entrance feels like a berm. The exit feels like a jump. I love this piece of terrain because it's taking two things that I freaking love to do, corner and jump, and you're doing them at the same time.
The other thing that I would get hung up on is, okay, I get in that angle. Now I'm gonna come off this thing like this. What happens? Your wheels come under you.
Down is there. This is fun, right? In this moment, when you're pulling, let's say 1G, down is 45 degrees sideways.
Provided enough velocity, centripetal force sticks us to the wall at the appropriate angle. At the very instant the wall is no longer pushing against us, gravity takes over as the dominant force, pulling our wheels down and under us. You can see that the forces change the instant the tire leaves the wall. This wonderful assist from physics lands us wheels down every time.
This just struck me after doing it a couple times. You may find yourself disappointed in how easy it is. Did you notice that? It almost feels like
it's a non-thing.
You can see it's 6 feet before your rear tire is gonna hit again. It feels like 6 inches. Everything works so perfectly that it's a little bit of a non-event. That is a testament to the beauty of the math. It's perfectly designed, and it feels like the air and the wood and the dirt all come together to just make one awesome riding experience.
A lot of the guys who show up to our level 2 classes, they've been looking at this thing for years, and it's been costing them sleep, and it's a big part of their life. You know, I mean, we've all had that, right?
Yeah.
And then they do it, and they're like,
yes!
Oh my God.
Isn't that the whole essence of all challenges? It's the desire and the want to do a thing, and then to work to achieve the thing. As soon as it's in the rearview mirror,
you need the next thing. Gulf between where you are and where you want to be, when I was young, was a source of consternation and stress. Yeah. Now I see it as a source of infinite steps of joy to get there.
That's why we're here on the small wall, because I did a video about this big wall that all that could create is tension for people, because you don't want to go from no wall ride to a 15-foot wall ride.
It's kind of crazy, like sitting down here, because I haven't stood here since the first time we hit it together, Alex, that day.
I have a great photo from that day. My son took it. You're on the wall, and I'm doing some sort of like Elvis.
Oh yeah, you're doing like a Kung Fu Elvis.
Like a Kung Fu Elvis.
It's on the wall in my new place. This is, by the way, this is the end of one of the ways down the XL slopestyle. So by the time you get here, right, you've hit 2 perfect big booty jumps, a little kicker, a significant cannon. The jump right here is huge.
The people that are building parks like this around America, they know what they're doing. There's a reason why this is at the end of this entire line, like you just mentioned.
Right.
On the way here, you've accumulated every skill you need to do this successfully.
Totally. And by the time you get here, especially this jump right here, by the time I land, my systems are completely 100% on. Like, and I'm not in my head anymore, I'm in my body. And so then I have a very soft, very, very soft gaze. It's good to start with a round wall because the radius kind of makes you stick to the wall, right? If you were tense and you hit a round wall, you can make it fine, like that would work.
Yeah.
If you're tense on this wall, you're gonna bounce right off of it. So we wanna control the energy, but also we wanna decide how and when we leave this wall. If you wanna protract that contact, you're gonna take your body and make it into a curve. You're in the air and you're gonna extend sideways into the wall. And then as you reach kind of your midpoint, you're gonna sink, and that's gonna maintain load. And then when you pass that midpoint, you're gonna turn that around into an extension, which is gonna maintain the load and then release you. So it's kind of really neat. And it's funny because like we did a video on how to like scallop and pump corners. I kind of feel like this is like jump on, scallop off. Put on! Woo! Yes!
Whoa!
Dude, that thing is crazy.
That will fire you up.
It's life affirming. I'll share something. I'm coming out of a very, very, very dark period of my life now. I'm out of the hole and I'm ascending.
Yeah.
And but I don't know if you remember, this would have been last summer when I got this first. I was in the hole and I was thinking about bad exits strategies. I'll let you guys decide what that means.
Jesus.
And I gotta tell you, like I put on a motto for myself: one more ride. Like, I know you feel awful today. I know this is hard. You want it to end. Anything's better than where you are. But let's just do this. Let's meet Alex in the morning and hit some big stuff. And then you can make a decision. And guess what? You cannot feel that way while doing that. It's impossible. Put that gun up, bro.